Hey guys, what's going on? Rue here. It's September. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day out. And I'm here with my official review of the movie It Chapter 2. I saw it last night with my girlfriend Erin. I thought it was, I went in with kind of low expectations. I read saw a few people's reviews on YouTube. I kind of got my expectations kind of low. Not that it got a bad review, but just wasn't anything, in terms of their opinions. I got the vibe that the movie wasn't anything to write home about. I went in with low expectations, thinking it was going to be a 2-hour and 45-minute, just letdown, but not to be. First of all, let me right off the bat, it did not feel like it was a near 3-hour movie. It went by very fast, a lot of action, a lot of horror scenes, much more. I mean, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, and I just had watched part 1 the week prior to, I thought there was a lot more horror aspects and a lot more horror scenes and action than the first one. So that really chopped up the monotony, I shouldn't say monotony, but the length of a movie. Anything that you sit for nearly 3 hours has to be compelling and has to not feel like you're sitting for 3 hours. And this definitely, to me, and my girlfriend Erin agreed. Didn't really agree. By the way, that's not Erin. That's Sam. So that's Sam. It wasn't a perfect horror movie, but it was something that I would definitely watch again. The scares here were awesome. I mean, we started off in the scene with the fun house. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. This is a non-spoiler review. I thought that the gore in this was fantastic. A little bit of some practical effects from Pennywise and some of the kills. Majority, a lot of CGI. Not my style. I'm not really into the CGI style. Heavy CGI in this. But because it was such a big budget movie and because CGI is evolving over the years, it worked. I mean, some people aren't going to like it, and that's okay. Usually, I don't like it. Many movies with heavy CGI I'm not into. This, I didn't have a problem with it with this. I thought it was very well done. The scares were good. I mean, there were a few good jump scares. There were a few, a lot of them, because you kind of you get the sense of when they're coming and you anticipate. So in that sense, it kind of kills it a little bit. And then, yes, Pennywise is more out in the open in this movie. He's not really hiding in the shadows. A little bit he is, but for the most part, this is more of a traditional horror film. Not that part 1 wasn't. We're doing flashbacks from the Losers Club as youths to adults. Speaking of which, love Bill Hader in this. Love Bill Hader in this. What a great performance for Bill Hader. Really added some comedy to it, which I generally don't like in horror movies, unless it's done in good doses. I like a little comedy in a movie like The Devil's Rejects, but the comedy here was very surprising. There were a few parts though when the comedy felt a little bit misplaced. In other words, where there were some scenes that were very drastic and very brutal, and literally to soften the scene, 2 seconds later, either Bill's character or somebody else said something to just totally go do a 180, and it takes you away from the moment. But I see what they were doing, and the audience, the crowd ate it up. They loved it. So it did, in a sense, it did work. Not totally my style. I would have pulled back a little bit on the comedy, but the comedy and the laughs that were there, really good, really funny, really good dialogue. I thought the message of the Losers Club was fantastic. It flowed throughout. Great flowing narrative. At times felt a little bit convoluted with all the shape shifting that it took. I thought it was it's a little bit, keep it simple. I thought it was a little bit too much. Again, didn't detract from my overall rating of the movie, but it was at times felt a little okay. This is a little over the top. Feels like I'm in a sci-fi fantasy world, which is not my style. But then again, that's what Stephen King is. He's sci-fi horror, and it was out there, and that's similar to how the TV movie, part 2 of the TV movie. I'm old enough to remember when part 2 of the TV movie aired on ABC way years ago. As a matter of fact, it was the first horror movie I've ever seen in my life. I remember sneaking down. My parents would be watching it, and I would kind of like sneaking down into the living room, kind of peering over, watching. And then eventually I did see the whole thing. Was terrified, had nightmares forever. But the audience was pleased. I mean, if you've got a crowd of, you know, young people and old people, middle-aged people, you know, applauding after a movie gets done, I think they've pretty much, you know, done their job. I think the writer and director did a fantastic job. They, you know, if you're applauding, that's a sign that you got your money's worth. And I definitely feel like I got my money's worth from this movie. The reclining seats and my girlfriend sitting next to me. Well, that's not my girlfriend sitting next to me, but in the theater, my girlfriend Erin was sitting next to me. Love the reclining seats, by the way. Wow, all theaters should have reclining seats. Jesus, that is just like, whew. Are you serious? Like, why wouldn't you have a reclining seat? Now with all the streaming issues and everybody just pirating and Netflix and Hulu and on demand, every movie theater should have the experience of a reclining seat where you sit there like a lazy slug and just shove Sour Patch Kids down your throat, gulp soda, and break wind. You should have the freedom to do that. Bottom line, again, very generic review. I don't think there's a need for a part 3. Obviously, this is Hollywood. This is going to be the #1 movie in the country. It makes this kind of money. There's always going to be talk about bringing the character back. So I wouldn't be surprised if down the line, unless they already announced it, I'm out of the loop. I don't know, that there will be another sequel. But to me, everything wrapped up perfectly. This is all you really need. Don't need another sequel. Don't need it. Think of something original. There's plenty of other new horror ideas. I mean, if you really want to go in the genre of horror clowns, Terrifier on Netflix. Terrifier 2 is being made, but right now, Art the Clown. There's many new ideas from a lot of creative, ingenious horror filmmakers out there that really need a studio to take a chance on them. So I hope that happens, and I'm really looking forward to September 16th. I'm seeing, well, Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects conclusion of the trilogy of the House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and now 3 from Hell. Be seeing that, hopefully doing a review of that too, immediately after seeing that. Well wishes the man, Sid Haig. Just got news a couple days ago, day and a half ago, that Sid is in ICU in a hospital. He had some sort of accident. I don't know whether it was a fall. I doubt it was a car accident. I think it may have taken place somewhere in his house, and obviously his wife Susie immediately rushed him, or the ambulance rushed him to the hospital. Something happened, some sort of accident. He is still in intensive care. I don't know what's going on right now. There hasn't been any updates, but love and prayers to Sid Haig. Nicest guy you could ever want to meet. And I'm not talking about celebrity. I'm like, oh, what? He's so nice for a celebrity. Sid Haig is nice for a human being. Like, there's people in my life, you know, in my everyday life at work, that aren't even half the human being that Sid Haig is. And I'm not just saying that because he signed an autograph for me and took a picture. Every time I've met him 3 times. We've had a conversation, and a legitimate conversation where he actually cares about the person that he's talking to. You know, there's people in your life today that you talk to, and I don't know if you guys can, but I can read people pretty well, that they don't give a crap about what you're talking about, or they're not even listening, you know, or they don't care to listen. You can just kind of just see. Sid is just such a genuine human being, such a sweet man, and, you know, at 80 years old, I really hope he pulls through. And, you know, the timing of this, I guess, couldn't be worse. But if, you know, I'm not even going to talk about it, but I am looking forward to seeing him in 3 from Hell. So we'll see what happens there. Just, you know, you want to follow Sid Haig Says, at Sid Haig Says on Instagram for updates. Susie, his wife, is updating with that situation. All right, guys, so thumbs up for it, Chapter 2. I would say go out and see it. Support horror movies in theaters. Definitely support horror movies in theaters, even though, you know, it's not so much an original horror movie. It's still horror. I think you should support it. Sam, you want to go check it out? Sam? Yeah, that's a yes. RueTV is on a little hiatus right now. Obviously, it's summer. I'm trying to regroup and figure out what direction I want to go. Actually, if you didn't catch it, in the new year, I want to be restarting RueTV Live, my internet talk show, which will this time be broadcast via Skype. Now, you don't have to have Skype to watch it. You have to have Skype to be on the show if you want to be on the show. But we will have some guests, comedians, actors, wrestlers, etc., musicians, hopefully. And I'm looking forward to that. But in order for that to happen, I have to do some equipment upgrades. My microphone broke. That's the reason I stopped doing RueTV Live in the first place. My PC is about to shit the bed, and I need a new laptop. So it all depends on if I've got the funds to upgrade. All right, so we'll see where we're at. You know, I think you guys like when I talk to you, though. I think you guys like when I talk to you as me, not as a character. Not that you don't like the characters, but when we do little heart-to-heart talks like this in front of the camera with Sam, in my Jeep, with Trident, gum. I know my brother Justin hates that I have the fruity flavored gums, but I do. I've got the fruity flavored gums right here. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the season finale of RueTV from Keystone Comic-Con. We'll be back real soon. I just don't know when or what in what form. But I'm going to be checking in here. I mean, this is free, you know. Money's tight for me. You know, I'm just starting back again at my full-time job, so I haven't gotten paid yet. So it becomes tough to go out and film stuff. I actually wanted to go today to tailgate as Herb Crackerjack at the Philadelphia Eagles game and film some funny stuff there, but money is very tight for this man, guys. So I cannot afford to do that. But it's probably for the better anyway, because sometimes I said I wanted to take a break, and we'll regroup. We'll creatively regroup, and we'll come back in some form or another, stronger than ever. Thanks for tuning in. I love you all. Sam loves you all. Happy fall. Happy Halloween season. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Cheers. Go out and see it. Thumbs up. B+. B+.